What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy Carceno here. Let's get into it. Like we always do at this time. Let's get into it. Now, you got Stephen A. Smith, right? Who was responding to something that was said on Undisputed with Richard Sherman and Skip Bayless going over what happened, which had nothing to do with Stephen A. Smith whatsoever. But since he's a parasite, this is what he chose to do. He wanted to put himself front line and center because he has no content to discuss. So he wants to get involved in it so he can keep some mess going to grow his channel. Congratulations, Stephen A. That's where you're going. You're becoming the thing that you talked about and talked down on for all your years. Everybody hit the like button out there. I hope you all got the notifications. We know they doing everything in their power to submerge the channel down, but we know, hey, we doing our thing and we doing it well. Now, what we like to say when people are doing frivolous things to try to, well, I don't know what they trying to do, but this is why we move in such a manner. People are moving in such a manner because there's no way you could be looking at someone else talking about 10 years, 13 years ago and going down this road. Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp should never have a problem with one another, especially when this is the person's responsible for you to even make money. You and Shannon Sharp. Nobody was thinking about you. You guys would have been ostracized. You were not in the big picture of things in sports network. Skip saw something in y'all and gave y'all the opportunity to shine. So you should never have nothing to say about him, one, in that manner. Two, Skip Bayless is right and you are wrong. And here's the facts. This is not based on opinion. This is not based on any fiction or my hate for Stephen A. How you hate Stephen A. and you love Skip Bayless. This ain't about that. It's not about that at all. What this is about is right and wrong. After Skip Bayless has told the whole world, and him and Sherman gave their take as to what went on, and he said what was going on behind the scenes is that the network had them on probation, and they were on probation for some things that have happened on First Take. And he didn't want to throw the thing out there that got the network on probation. And at that time, he said, you, well, you kind of brought it up on yourself, but you keep like doubling down on this. But you, buddy, when he got on his podcast show, he didn't say it on the air, but he said you wanted to go and do and cover the NBA, and you didn't want to get up that early. You wanted to have an afternoon show so that you can do your NBA coverage and do all everything else. This is like messing with your sleep time. So you were hoping to get that afternoon spot so you can, do Sports Center, cover the NBA, do this. So it works better with your schedule. And you would have had it. But once again, this situation happened live on the show with Richard Sherman. But this is why Skip didn't go back and forth. He didn't feed into it. He didn't go down the road that they were trying to bait him to go down with Richard Sherman because of this fact. He stayed neutral. Now, here's the problem with Stephen A. Smith and what Stephen A. Smith is saying. Stephen A. comes back and claims that this was not the truth and that it was Tim Tebow, that the head honchos, the bosses, They were not happy with Skip Bayless's considerable coverage of Tim Tebow. Even though it was getting ratings, he felt the big bosses were just upset. And this is not what they wanted to portray. Now, I'm giving you the layout so you guys will know what's going on, right? That the Tim Tebow coverage, even though they don't want to be looked at it, they love the ratings. This is not going along with the program that the network wants to do, is that we're talking about Tim Tebow every day. Now, Stephen A's figures like when he got there, that's when all the Tebow stuff stopped and all of this, and he changed the program for the better. This is what he's trying to allude to. And that's not the question, Stephen A. See, you're taking to people back and changing the narratives because you got busted and called out by Skip. Now, Skip brought to the table another thing. You brought up the Ray Rice situation, which was a year and a half after that situation. Then you brought up that fact that you spoke about, talking about Tebow. Tebow was in 2011. This was in 2013. You weren't on probation for Tim Tebow. This is what he said. We were on probation, Stephen A. That's what he said. What got us on probation is when Rob Parker made that comment about RG3, and it got him fired on ESPN. He spoke too freely about RG3 and Snyder from the Washington Redskins or whatever. They made a phone call to ESPN, and a lot of people made calls, and Rob Parker was fired. Skip tried to save him, but that's what got First Take on probation. This is what Skip didn't want to tell you until now. And now that you heard Skip say that Rob Parker is the reason that First Take was on probation, which is the 100% absolute truth, you double down and come back. He said, oh, that wasn't the truth. Oh, the bosses said this. It wasn't just us. It wasn't just me. And it wasn't just him. Stephen A., nobody said anything about you being your fault. You wanted to go to the afternoon slot. Skip Bayless didn't try to go to the afternoon slot. You were the one that wanted the afternoon slot. Skip Bayless didn't say he wanted the afternoon slot. You said you wanted the afternoon slot. Skip would rather have it in the morning so he can get done with the show and have the whole day to himself. But see, you do other things. You want to host this show, that show. Then you got to do this show over here, then another show over there. See, you can't sit still. And because you can't sit still, it's costing you. Yep. You want to do so many different jobs. So you needed that afternoon slot. And you didn't get it. That Richard Sherman thing was the nail in the coffin. So they extended the probation. Everybody was getting ready to go on vacation, and this was it. And then when they came back, they were going to move the show to the afternoon slot. But nope, they kept it right where it was at after the Richard Sherman incident. So Skip was going to go along with this just because it helped your schedule. Stephen A. Why are you lying and trying to make it look like Skip is the one that's lying? Why do you keep moving the goalposts? Because you're a liar. You see, I ain't moved the goalposts and try to say, oh, you ain't telling the whole story. The bosses was mad over your Tim Tebow coverage. The supervisors. What are you talking about? Skip Bayless could talk about anything on First Take he wanted to. Tim Tebow, he made a habit to make sure that he was going to be the pick of the day. I mean, I made a lot of money off Tebow. I actually did. Now, when I made this money, okay, it wasn't always good. Tim Tebow's play was awful. He was playing god awful on the field, and they promoted that Brady versus Tebow game and his quarterbacking, but they were winning and it was making money. So why wouldn't he talk about it? Every other station was talking about Tim Tebow at that time, but probably not as much as Skip Bayless. They were riding the wave of what was the hot topic, something that all these networks are doing right now. So when all of you keep talking about a Stephen A. Skip Bayless thing, this is Stephen A. trying to fan flames to keep commotion going so that he can have something to talk about. He can have some drama going on around him so that FanDuel can promote and push his narratives and his nonsense. Now, when they really start looking at the big picture, when you start looking monumentally at what the real issue is, it's envy. Stephen A. Smith is envious of Skip Bayless because he does not have Skip Bayless's prowess. He can't do what Skip does. He doesn't have Skip's power. He wants it, but no one respects him. He cannot get it. It's not earned. So why would someone do something for him as slighted as a favor? He doesn't deserve it. That's how they see him. So now the question is once again asked and it's once again raised. What are we doing here? Seriously, like what are we doing here? What are we doing? Skip Bayless is not thinking about you, Stephen A. You want to rope Skip Bayless into something to have some controversy because it serves your new platform well to be talking about beef with Skip Bayless. But you know you can't do this on First Take. So you could do it on this show to get caught up in some drama. The stuff you was talking about you was too big for. Now you over here mudslinging on the YouTube and the internet. You've become a blogger, sir. But you thought this was a snowball fight? You're now a blogger, son. So why would a man who's making over $8 million a year, right? Not that we're counting. Why would a man who's making that kind of money come to YouTube and decide to blog or vlog? Why would you take that and come here and slum it with us? Doesn't make any sense. Why y'all slumming it with us? Hmm? You ever thought about that? Why are you slumming it? Because he knows the clock is ticking. And the new white boy just came in town. And now he's on your show. You didn't put him there. They didn't give a damn about what you thought about it, but you call it your show, right? You brought up Shannon Sharp. No, they brought Shannon Sharp in. And they brought Pat McAfee in. And now you're the third wheel. Because you got two people bigger than you going to be on your platform. But you like, I got an executive producer. Yeah, they're going to see if they can boost the show up to a point where they can say, all right, do we really need Stephen A? So when you come in with this renegotiation, they going to say, well, we kind of don't need you. You think this increases your bargaining power. You know the writing's on the wall. You're not in position to threaten them with leaving now. Now you could say, well, I could leave and go over there with Skip. Well, that option ain't there. You're going to keep creating a situation to where you're going to be on the internet and you want to have your platform already set and ready to go so you can get this evaluation going and you can start taking things to another level. See, when you start getting an agency to represent you, then now you're at the mercy of those who came before you. Now, how do I see this playing out? Well, it's like this. Skip Bayless is in a frame of journalism. You know, he stays in that circle. He don't come on here and shake and bake and do all this and all his antics. You know, he's still reading from a piece of paper in front of him while he's talking. He's making sure all his words are concise, clear, and he's moving in from that standpoint only. So that's all. Nobody's really taking anything seriously or to heart. I wouldn't read too much into it if I was y'all on the outside looking in. What this is another clear case of him grandstanding, trying to get some attention, trying to say, oh, there's a beef between me and Skip. Nope, it's a guy that got caught in a lie. The whole thing, and the question was, why was First Take on probation? What put them on probation? It wasn't because he kept talking about Tim Tebow. The bosses didn't like it. That's why we was on probation. Man, get the hell out of here, Stephen A. You gonna put a show in there for getting ratings for talking about Tim Tebow, and they gonna slap them on probation. Anybody who believes that is stupid. Anybody who thought about is that could be a reasonable idea or a way for them to actually do it, that's dumb. That's just plain dumb. And for Stephen A to sit there and say that, he's an idiot. It was because of the Rob Parker incident. And this is why he didn't want to say it on First Take. On Undisputed. Because Rob Parker's his guy. He rode for Rob. He brought Rob Parker back and got him on Fox Sports 1. So Rob Parker wouldn't be getting the paper he getting right now if Skip didn't bring him back and put him on Undisputed. So let that be known. Let the world know. That's the real. So all this, well, you know Rob Parker. He's the graphic. That's how much I know Rob Parker. Do you know Rob Parker more than Skip Bayless? Did you get Rob Parker back on ESPN? No, you couldn't. They don't respect you. You couldn't get Michael Irvin his job back. What kind of power you got? Skip Bayless got him his job, snap of a finger. I want Michael Irvin. Guess what? They went and got Michael Irvin. They didn't want to get Keyshawn. They went and got Keyshawn. Skip Bayless knows what he's doing. Do you? And he don't have to work twice as hard as you. You got to do 50 shows and 20 nights. Yeah, it's like crazy, dude. So, y'all think about it. What's set in stone is set in stone. And this is set in stone right here. Yeah, it's on Skip and Shannon Sharp. I mean, Skip and Stephen A. What they want to do to, take it far. After I heard this, I wouldn't even listen to him no more. He told us, you make it sound like it. I'm not a liar. You are a liar. I'm calling you a liar. And I'll bring up the claims right now. You lied on Coach Gaines. Talking about your article, God made him step down and resign because of your article when he was the coach for 3 more years. Never mentioned that. You got your athletic scholarship snatched from you, so you had to work on your academics. You never said that. You keep talking like your basketball IQ is what got you everything. Come on, man, stop. You played at a fashion institute. Who was you guarding? Somebody in high heels? Stop playing. You went to a tech high school, dog. You guys was guarding Fogels. you couldn't blow by him. You couldn't even make that team. That's how bad it you was. Couldn't even make the team. So you are all capped, sir. And if you ever get in front of me, I'm gonna let you know about it. The whole smear. Yes, we're gonna shatter that mask. And nobody's saying Skip is perfect, but hell, Skip got them brothers their jobs. You couldn't do it, Stephen A. He got you the job you sitting in right now. If he was like that, he could have really go in heavy hand on you and be like, "It wasn't for me, dog. You be mopping up the floor somewhere in the gym." If he really want to go big dog on you, he can. That's big money Bayless. I started this game. This game starts and end with me, Bayless. Run things here. You just work here. Yeah, I'm telling you, go big head on him. You might as well. What are you not doing it for? Might as well go big head on him. Look, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. It's been a long time coming, but I'm gonna cut out. It's your boy Carceno, man. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the page, the notification bell, all that. Hit all those wonderful things. Cash App is Carceno, Karceno, and I'm out the door.